How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Kevin Hart. My man, it is time for the MAGA hat. I got one for you, your wife, your kids, the whole squad. I think you're going to need it and you're going to want it after the few days and weeks you've been having. Now, if you're kind of lost or you don't quite know what I'm talking about, let me back up a little bit to explain. Now, Kevin Hart, just a few days ago, came out and confirmed that he's going to host the Oscar Awards next year at the end of February. However, now all of a sudden, the Oscars came out and said, wait a minute, Kevin, we found some quote unquote homophobic tweets from you about 10 years ago. So what you're going to have to do is apologize or relinquish your opportunity to host the Oscar Awards. And he has chosen the latter. Now, there's a video of him explaining what's going on. So what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and roll the video. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what he said there. I'll talk about a separate issue that happened that kind of goes towards the whole MAGA hat theory that I want from my man. And I'll talk about the PC culture in general in America. And then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
So I just got a call from the Academy, and that call basically said, Kevin, apologize for your tweets of old, or we're going to have to move on and find another host. Talking about the tweets from 2009, 2010. I chose to pass. I passed on the apology. The reason why I passed is because I've addressed this several times. This is not the first time this has come up. I've addressed it. I've spoken on it. I've said where the rights and wrongs were. I've said who I am now versus who I was then. I've done it. I've done it. I'm not going to continue to go back and tap into the days of old when I moved on and I'm in a completely different space in my life. The same energy that went into finding those old tweets could be the same energy put into finding the response to the questions that have been asked years after years after years. We feed in the internet trolls and we reward them. I'm not going to do it, man. I'm going to be me. I'm going to stay in my ground. Regardless, Academy, I'm thankful and appreciative of the opportunity. If it goes away, no harm, no foul.
Okay, so you saw that, you heard that. Now let's address that straight away. Hats off to my man for not kowtowing and bending and breaking and just doing whatever the Oscar Awards wanted him to do. That shows some power. Now, Kevin Hart, in all fairness, is a pretty rich guy. He has plenty of movie roles. He's rolling in money. You're talking about Scrooge McDuck just swimming through all the gold coins in the basement of his house. He's a rich guy. So he doesn't really need the Oscars. I think the Oscars needs him more than the other way around. So that was a powerful move from a place of power. So shout out to him for doing that. Now, he did eventually apologize to the LGBT community on Twitter after that particular video came out. But I don't think it was in an effort to gain the Oscar hosting gig. It was just a matter of PR. Okay, he didn't do that to try and win favor with them. And the thing about it is, if they found tweets from 10 years ago, that means that they were trying to find them. Like they were searching on Twitter for keywords with his name attached to it. And then they brought it back up like, okay, this is what you are right now. You're talking about things that happened in 2009, 2010. That's a very long time ago. Kevin Hart is almost 40 at this point. But those tweets were when he was like in his early 30s, late 20s. So it was like, come on. People are trying to find something that is not really there. And like he said in the video, he's already talked about these particular tweets years ago, over and over and over again. So how many more times do you want the man to apologize? How many more times do you want the man to address these particular tweets? This is a kind of thing that drives people from the left to the right. Okay. They're trying to be a good liberal. They're trying to be all inclusive and stuff like that. And then they get attacked by their own. The left eats its own. So it was like, okay, if I'm getting constantly attacked by those who say that they have my back, but I'm not getting that same treatment from the other side, maybe I'll go to the other side to see what's going on there. Just maybe. Now, this is not the only incident that has happened to Kevin Hart over the past few weeks. Just a few days ago, I think I did a topic on my podcast on Patreon about the Cowboys and Indians birthday party. Let's talk about this. His wife posted a picture on Instagram of his son who was like a year old. We're talking about maybe a baby. If not 1 year old, maybe 2 or 3. You're talking about a toddler at best, a little kid. They had a Cowboys and Indians themed birthday party. So people were offended at that. And you know the obvious reasons why. Oh, you're being hateful towards natives, and this is problematic, and this is racist. His wife sent him the comment and said, look at this dumb stuff. Now, that wasn't the word she used, but look at this dumb stuff that you're seeing right here. He spoke about it on his show, and it was like, come on, man, this is just too much. The PC culture is getting out of hand. It's just, it's ridiculous. You can't have a Cowboys and Indians themed birthday party. And he was talking about when he was a child, they would have parties like this, cops and robbers, Cowboys and Indians. And people were trying to compare it to slavery. Like, what if you had a masters and slave party? It's like, come on. That's not a real thing. Nobody has that. But you can go to the store right now and get you a fake cowboy pistol for a child and the whole outfit, Halloween. There's no Halloween outfit for a slave that you can find in Walmart or anything like that. That's just not a thing. Okay, Cowboys and Indians is a basic thing that we always grew up doing. But now all of a sudden it's problematic. So-called homophobic tweets from 10 years ago that Kevin Hart posted on Twitter that somebody had to find and search, because the reason why I say you got to find it, you got to go look through keywords and stuff like that, is because you can't just scroll down somebody's Twitter and have all the tweets pop up. It'll stop at a certain point. You got to be able to find it. And then, of course, if it was 10 years ago, even if you could scroll all the way down in somebody's tweets, you're not going to do that. You'd be there all day. Somebody searched for that to intentionally just make this man genuflect before the Academy. I'm glad that he didn't do it. And I hope that more people are seeing what's happening with these liberal celebrities, how they're being eaten by their own, and begin to wake up. Hopefully Kevin Hart himself begins to wake up. He had this anti-Trump speech at an award show, and maybe his next speech at an award show will be a pro-Trump one. Okay? You're getting kicked out of the Oscars. People are trying to boycott you over your son's birthday party because it's Cowboys and Indians. And then you're a comedian on top of that. So can you say anything that is offensive? The thing about comedy is that at a certain point, it's going to be offensive. You're telling jokes. If you're joking on someone or on something, somebody's going to be offended. Okay? People are going to laugh at that joke. And if it's about somebody, then it is what it is. Kevin Hart would do bits about his family. I think his dad might have been on crack or something like that. That's going to be offensive to crackheads or to those who work in the rehabilitation industry. Oh, you can't talk about them that way. Give them passion. Somebody's going to be offended. But that is the nature of comedy, to offend. Not in a malicious way, but in a fun way. That's just the reality of it. You can even have self-deprecating humor, things that may offend yourself. And that's fine. You should be able to do that without all this crazy backlash from the left and the liberal lamestream media. So that is pretty much all I got. What say you? Do you think that Kevin Hart should have been removed from the Oscars from tweets from 10 years ago? I mean, come on. It's a nothing burger. He already addressed it many, many times over the course of a decade. Think about how long that is, and think about things you have said on social media. If somebody were to search, go through all your history, and then find this and say, oh, okay, he's homophobic. I mean, come on. It's crazy. But do you think it was the right thing to do to remove him? Was it the wrong thing to do to remove him? How do you feel about Kevin Hart's response to the whole situation, saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pass on that apology. If I lose the opportunity, then so be it. I think that was the right thing to do. Now, he did come back, like I said, and apologize on Twitter. And you saw that tweet, and I'll link to it in the box. But again, I think that was more about just PR purposes and not to try and get back the job. Because once you come out publicly and do a video that's kind of like against the Academy, that's pretty much out there. How are you going to really reel that back? It was not to try and backpedal. It was more about just his brand in general. So he's able to keep other opportunities flowing, because understand this. If he's to come out there and appear to be some kind of bigot, some kind of anti-LGBT individual, that can hurt him in other ways, aside from the Oscars, aside from his comedy gigs, aside from the shows and the movies. It can hurt his whole brand, therefore his family, for years to come. But that is all I got. So whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.